Hi boys and girls, hope everyone's having a good day today. We're going to go ahead and read a cool story. It's an old favorite one of mine. It's about owls, and then we're going to read a little bit science fun facts about owls, and then we're going to do a drawing today afterwards, a little quick direct draw that you can do, and then write about it and then share. So here we go. Here's our story today. It's called Good Night Owl by Pat Hutchins. Owl tried to sleep. The bees buzzed, and you can say this with me, buzz, buzz. And Owl tried to sleep. The squirrel cracked nuts, crunch, crunch. And Owl tried to sleep. The crows croaked, caw, caw, and Owl tried to sleep. The woodpecker pecked, rat-a-tat, rat-a-tat, and Owl tried to sleep. The starlings chittered, tweet, 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 and Owl tried to sleep. The jays screamed, ark, ark, and Owl tried to sleep. It's a little angry. The cuckoo called, cuckoo, cuckoo, and Owl tried to sleep. Busy tree. The robin peeped, beep, beep, and Owl tried to sleep. The sparrows chirped, cheep, cheep, and Owl tried to sleep. The doves cooed, crew, crew, and Owl tried to sleep. Here we go. The bees buzzed, buzz, buzz. The squirrel cracked nuts, crunch, crunch. The crows croaked, caw, caw. The woodpecker pecked, rat-a-tat, rat-a-tat. The starlings chittered, tweet, 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 tweet. The jays screamed, ark, ark. The cuckoo called, cuckoo, cuckoo. The robin peeped, beep, beep. The sparrows chirped, cheep, cheep. The doves cooed, crew, crew. And Owl couldn't sleep. Then darkness fell, and the moon came up, and there wasn't a sound. Why do you think, boys and girls? Owl screeched. You could do it with me loud. Screech, screech, and woke everyone up. Did he get them back? The end. Well, I think most of you know owls are nocturnal. That means they're awake during the night and they sleep during the day. So all the other birds in the story are diurnal. They sleep during the night and they are noisy during the day. And they sure like to bother Owl. So this book is another awesome book. It's by Gail Gibbons. She writes a lot of great stories that we've read this year already. But this one is about owls. It has great facts in it. So listen up, because we are going to do a little drawing. And then I'm going to give you the opportunity to write about owls, and then we'll share them at one of our Google Hangouts. Here we go. Owls by Gail Gibbons. One silent Sorry, I messed that one up. On silent wings, a bird swoops down in the moonlight. The bird is an owl. Using its powerful claws, it grabs a field mouse. And those claws, boys and girls, are called talons. Here's a little drawing of that. Their talons are very sharp and very good for grabbing their food. Owls are raptors. Raptors are birds of prey, meaning they are hunters. They eat meat. They grab their prey with their claws, called talons, that are very sharp. This is a picture of a great horned owl. These are all the owls of North America. Most scientists believe there are about 140 different kinds of owls living around the world. They live on every continent except Antarctica. Do you remember which bird lives in Antarctica? It's Woody's favorite oviparous bird. It was a
penguin.
Good job. It is believed that there are 21 different kinds of owls living in North America. The smallest owl, the elf owl, is 5 inches long from the top of its head to the tip of its tail. The largest owl is the great gray owl, is 33 inches long. Here's a picture of the great gray owl, and I'm sure the tiny, tiny one. Here's the little elf owl. Each. Pretty nice. They can rest on a cactus. Most owls have the same basic characteristics. The male is usually a little smaller than the female. There are 2 different types of owls. Owls with round facial discs are Strigidae owls. Owls with heart-shaped facial discs are Titanidae owls. I was looking at the phonetic spelling. The eyes of an owl cannot move in their eye sockets to watch for prey. And this is kind of interesting to know. Instead, owls have flexible necks that can twist almost all completely around. They even can turn their heads upside down. So they can't turn their eyes back and forth, but they can turn their head almost all the way around and their heads. Most owls hunt at night. Day or night, they can see much better than people. And look at their pupils in here. This is what they look like during the daylight. They're small. They get small. And at nighttime, their pupils get big. And most nocturnal eyeballs do that. If you were to go in the bathroom at day or night, leave the light on, your pupils are small, turn off the light and try to look in the mirror and your pupils get big. They dilate to let the light in so you can see better and adjust to darkness. Owls have very large eyes. Owls can change the focus of their eyes very rapidly and see great distances. At night, the pupils of their eyes get big. This allows more light to enter into their eyes, giving them unusually good vision in the dark. Most owls rely on their keen hearing for hunting rather than excellent vision. Their ears are hidden behind their facial discs, feathers. These discs act like dish antennas to funnel sound to their ears. Owls are constantly turning their heads to hear better. So this kind of shows how that, it's kind of like the bouncing off sound. An owl attacks its prey silently. When flying, it can move its wings without making a sound. Complete silence. An owl's bones are very light. They are full of air. The strength of an owl's wings and the lightness of its bones give an owl extraordinary lifting power. Strong legs and toes and long needle-sharp curved talons give owls great grasping power. Most owls kill their prey by biting it at the base of the neck. Different owls have different diets. They may eat squirrels, skunks, rabbits, birds, snakes, insects, and other creatures. Owls usually swallow their food whole, head first. When an owl kills its animal that is too big to swallow, it will shred it with its beak. Owls cannot chew or grind their food. They cough up what they can't digest in pellets. The pellets usually contain fur and bones. And this is a little example of scientists or people or even kids, we can do this. You can find a pellet and take it apart with tweezers and actually pull the bones and the fur out, and sometimes rebuild the bones and see what animal it actually ate. But they cough up what they can't digest. Many owls rest or roost during the day. Some owls nap from time to time, resting their heads on their chests. Other owls twist their heads around to rest them on their backs. Hoot, hoot, screech, screech. Owls communicate in many ways. They may use sounds to claim a territory, to warn off danger, or call to a mate. Some people think owl sounds are eerie. Owls make nesting sites in unusual places. They may nest in hollow trees, in tree stumps, or on the ground, or in an abandoned bird's nest. When a male barn owl courts a female barn owl, he will bring food to her as an offering. It's like a date, taking them out to dinner. Often he flutters his powerful wings and hovers over her to get her attention. The male's mating call is crew, crew. When the female accepts the male, they mate. Then they choose a nesting site for the female to lay her eggs. Often they choose an old barn hayloft. Barn owls don't build nests. They use a space that is dark and safe. In about 2 weeks, the female begins laying her eggs. She lays 1 egg at a time every 2 days. At the end of the 10 days, there are 5 eggs. She sits on them, keeping them warm. This is called incubation. Can you say that? Incubation. About 1 month later, the female hears a faint peep coming from one of the eggs. The shell begins to crack. The first owlet, actually the baby owls are called owlets, uses its egg tooth to break free from the shell. The tiny owl is blind and helpless and has no feathers, but it can hear all the sounds around it. The male has been hunting, bringing food to its mate. So the daddy will bring the mommy the food while mommy sits on the eggs to keep them warm. And if you heard about the egg tooth, birds, when they hatch, they have an egg tooth. They don't have teeth, but they have that tooth to peck out of the egg. And then when they are out, that egg tooth actually falls off. Then they have a beak. 2 days later, the next owlet hatches. The mother keeps them warm and protects them with her soft feathers. At 2 weeks old, the owlets can see. They are covered with soft down. They're like fluffy, soft feathers. Now both parents must hunt to feed their hungry brood. Now the owlets are 1 month old. They have their feathers. Their eyesight is good, and the owlets are very active and jump on the food their parents bring. They try to fly. When the owlets are 2 months old, they have moved outside the barn and are able to fly, but they still need their parents to help them get food. When the young owls are about 5 months old, they are able to live on their own. Years ago, there were many more owls in the world than there are today. People killed owls to protect smaller livestock. Farmers and others used chemicals to protect crops, plants, and trees from insects. Also, natural habitats were destroyed as people moved into wilderness areas. Today, certain places have been set aside as reserves to protect owls. Some zoos have breeding programs for endangered owls. Owls play an important role in the balance of our natural world. People don't see owls very often. That's because most owls are creatures of the night. When you are out in the country at night, listen carefully. You might hear a sound of an owl. Hoo, hoo, hoo. And these are just little hoot, 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 fun little stories about owls. But owls are very helpful, boys and girls, because they do eat a lot of rodents. So people love having owls around because that protects our crops. So what I'd like to do now, Woody, can you just zoom in this real quick? These are really cool pictures of real owls. Are you zooming in there good? Mm-hmm. So we know facts about owls. What beautiful birds owls are. Their bodies are made for the night. Their habits are right for the role in the animal role. Owls stay awake at night. Most owls sleep during when the sun comes up. Owls hear well. They hear better than any other birds. When an owl hears a sound, it can turn its head far around. Owls have big eyes. They look straight ahead to see well in the dark. Owls hunt. Sharp eyesight and hearing makes owls great hunters. They eat mice and other small animals. Owls fly quietly. Their wings are long. There is space between their feathers. These two things help owls stay silent when they fly. Being quiet helps with hunting. And then here are some of the parts that we're going to draw real quick. The top of the head is called the crown. They've got the big eyes. These are the tufts. They're like fluffy wings that come up, or feathers. They have wings, they have a tail, they have a beak, and they have talons, and those are their strong claws to grab their food. So boys and girls, here's the paper that you guys have at home. And I'll draw on the first grade one, but this is the kindergarten one for writing. So you're going to get a pencil, and what I like to start with first is just, we know they have really nice big eyes, so I'm going to draw ovals for eyes. And what I kind of like to do is go ahead, we know they're going to be big pupils, so find a black crayon and color them in. Those are some big pupils. Like 2 ovals. Then around their eye, we're going to make another oval shape around each. And to make your eyes pop out, I'm going to use yellow to color them in. Kind of looks like a mixed up fried egg at the moment. And you remember, owls lay eggs, so they're oviparous animals. And it was fun to learn about oviparous animals with you. Okay, that's pretty much all the coloring I'm going to do, because I'm going to focus on the drawing part, and then you can finish your coloring in just a moment and then share it out over Google Hangout. So the next part we're going to do, and there was the 2 kinds of faces. There's like a heart, a disc shape, and a heart face. So I'm going to kind of mix them and go around its face. Just remember, always do your best. I am going to put a beak, because they all have that strong beak. Kind of looks like a crescent moon. And then I'm going to make, if you remember, the crown of the head. Crown of the head. Here's the little tuft feathers on the paper, if you're looking right here. There's a little tuft, and they're kind of feathery. Then I'm going to go ahead and frame its face down to its neck. And then I'm going to make its body. And the way I'm going to do that, I'm going to curve out to the side on one side, on the other side. Notice I didn't go all the way down. I'm going to go ahead and make a branch for it to rest on. And there's another line for that branch. And I'm going to draw talons, sharp talons for the bird. Holding on. And I'm sorry I didn't leave a lot of space down here, but we do have tail feathers. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of make a tail feathers going down underneath. Okay, and then they have wings, so I'm going to go ahead and make their wings shut because they're resting. It's not a flying one. And then you can kind of make lines in here to show that they're feathers, that they would open up. And a little bit of a little hairy chest like your dad's. Okay, so that's kind of the basic. And then boys and girls, I'd love you to write about some of the facts you learned. Owls are nocturnal. Owls are birds that fly at night quietly. Owls have sharp claws called talons, so you kind of have to brainstorm on your own. But I will show you, because I've done the drawing before. Most owls are brown. Here's an old drawing. Or the gray colors. So they kind of blend in nicely. So you can kind of see, and I shaded in a background, stars, moons, if you want to add that. So this is an example of a brown, gray. You can mix them, but it's very similar to the drawing we just did. So I look forward to seeing your drawing of an owl, and we'll see you soon.